Hey everybody, Grooves Blues Reviews here. We're at the midway point of this first round series between the St. Louis Blues and the Winnipeg Jets. And great series it's been so far. I mean, for the most part, if you like hockey, except for one game, which was game three, where Winnipeg pretty much just dominated that game. The Blues seemed to forget how to play hockey and play their game. But anyway, just kind of reviewing where things are at right now. You know, the Blues, they take a 2-0 lead in Winnipeg. They win 2-1. They win 4-3. Patrick Laine scores in both of those games. He doesn't score in the next two in St. Louis, and we lose those games. The Blues power play looking atrocious, pretty much, in my opinion, all the way through. And, you know, you want to see the Blues, after being up 2-0, coming back to St. Louis, at least take one, go up 3-1. Or it would have been great to take two and sweep the Jets, and now we're just sitting back waiting for our next opponent. But fortunately, that's not the case. And as I predicted, I think this series is still going to go 6 games, and I think the Blues can do it. There's no reason to hit the panic button. I mean, definitely, it's disappointing. I was at the Blues game last night, and to see the Blues, they played better last night. They definitely played better than Sunday. But there are just some observations with regards to last night. They're still having problems with the puck in their own end. That's obvious. It didn't happen, from what I could tell, as long in duration as it did on the Sunday game. But for some reason, passes tape to tape, they're having trouble corralling the puck. I don't know if they're nervous in the way that they're holding their sticks. I don't know what's going on, but I tried to pay attention more to what Winnipeg is doing when they're pressuring us. And really, what it is, I mean, they're just using their size and their speed, and the Blues are just it's causing them to make some bad decisions. They're being forced into decisions, and the Jets are really, I think, just exploiting us, that we have problems in our own end. When the Blues in the regular season went on that 11-game winning streak and continued to win games after that, they weren't having that problem. They were having the problem in their own end with that when they were losing in the first half of the season, and also last season as well at times. This is something that really stems back, where I started to notice this towards the latter half of Ken Hitchcock's tenure here as coach, before he got fired. Mike Yeo comes in, and things started to do well, and then all of a sudden they started to have problems again in the defensive zone with the puck. So I'm not sure exactly what that issue is, but it's key with communication and just making better decisions, quicker decisions, and just not just floating the puck out there, and putting a little bit more oomph behind your clearing attempts. Not always icing the puck. That's not good. But to definitely make sure the forwards are getting back, they're helping out, and they're making those outlet passes out of your zone a little bit easier. And also too, when Winnipeg has control of the puck, making sure that you're covering your guy, but not leaving a guy, so then you're leaving him in the slot to go cover someone else, which the Blues did that a few times in the game 3 against the Jets. So the Blues are just they're having trouble on their own end, and they're having trouble on the power play. I did not foresee this happening with the power play. I thought it was going to get going with everything else turning on for the Blues, and maybe it could get going still. I mean, who knows? But at this point, really, the Blues in the first 2 games, they played great games up there in Winnipeg. They were even with them, and then they come back to St. Louis. They lay one egg, and then they're even again with the Winnipeg Jets, in my opinion, for the most part. They had a few slip-ups in their own end. Yes, they did. But still, they played a better game in Game 4, and that game, in my opinion, could have gone either way. Binnington has played great in goal to this point. I feel that he looks like the better, stronger goaltender. Connor Hellebuyck, in my opinion, he hasn't really been tested. Although when you look at it, when I look at the notes here, right now, Jordan Binnington, he has 110 saves, 122 shots against. He has a .902 save percentage right now. And then you look at Connor Hellebuyck, and he has 119 shots against, 109 saves, versus Binnington 122 shots and 110 saves. And so Connor Hellebuyck, a little bit better save percentage right there at right now. I believe it's at a little over 91% there. It looks like at .913. So, just looking at the whole situation here with regards to those stats and what's going on in the series so far, is that In this series, it's been very close with the goaltenders as far as stats go, but the numbers, while they don't lie, they don't tell the whole story. So getting back just to the series overall, yes, the Blues win the first two. They can't put the chokehold on the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets come back, they win the next two. I know there's a belief in momentum, but look at it this way: it's tied at two. That's it. There's no reason to hit the panic button. The Blues have won two up in Winnipeg. There's no reason to not believe they can win up there again. Who's to say we don't go up there, have another great game like this, and we win in overtime and come back up 3-2? It could be the other way around, and then our backs are against the wall, but it's 3-2. The series isn't over yet. So there's no reason to hit the panic button. There's some concern here, but let's just wait and see how the Blues come out and how they play in Game 5 up there in Winnipeg. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be tough, but this is a good team. Let's not lose the hope in this team yet, because they had a great second half and they played the way this team is supposed to play. Just some guys haven't shown up yet in the first few games. I'm talking about Braden Shen. I'm talking about Jaden Schwartz. Those are guys that you expect to show up a little bit more, and they just haven't. The games in St. Louis, I felt that Maroon kind of lost his touch a little bit. And really, I think Robbie Fabry should be taken back out of the lineup. He didn't really add anything, in my opinion, last game. I think they should either put in Nolan or they should put in Sammy Blais, or if not one of those two, put in McEachran. I think that all three of those guys could add a little bit of spunk to the offense, but also be very physical. Fabry, that's just not his game, and you need another physical body in the lineup for the Blues at this point, I believe. So I'm not hitting the panic button. I don't think you should either, Blues fans. We'll see what happens, but the series is tied at 2. It's close, and like I predicted, I still see the Blues winning this in 6 games. That's my prediction, and I'm holding to it. So anyway, I'll talk to you later, Blues fans, and we'll see what happens tomorrow night in Winnipeg.